So my name is Ishbel Cavaleri, and I'm the owner of Ishbel Well. I am a functional nutritionist specializing in hormonal imbalances and also gut health. And I really look at the interchange between gut health and hormone balance. I have a long history myself of struggling with hormonal imbalances, and that's really fueled my pathway into this work. Also yoga and Pilates instructor. I've been practicing yoga since I was a child. So all of that is interwoven into my business, really holistic approach. So the state of my business before I started working with Lesli was a pretty extreme state of overwhelm. So I had a lot of business, which was great. I had a large clientele and a pretty significant referral base. However, I was just so overwhelmed by everything that needed to be done. And from when you're a small business owner, there's marketing, there's email communication, there's being sure that the platforms that you use are working well, not to mention the programs that you're trying to build and the people that you're trying to serve. So I think as a small business owner, especially in the field that we work in, where you really need to be present and a calming person for people who are really struggling with their health. If you as a business owner are feeling overwhelmed and super stressed out, that is not a good place to start. Not to mention, it's just not enjoyable for you as a business owner, or certainly was not enjoyable for my family for me to be this overwhelmed. So the specific areas that I knew I was stuck in and I really needed guidance was first and foremost that my business is entirely online, and online businesses require a different level of expertise and management than, say, an in-person business does. And what I was really struggling with is understanding kind of the sales funnel system, if you will. I think there's a lot of different ways to describe that, but trying to figure out how to communicate effectively with potential clients. And then once they actually booked a sales call or an information gathering call, how to talk with those people in a way that I could really help them understand the value of the work that we could do. And then after that, one of the biggest sticking points was, I had actually a lot of people who wanted to work with me, but the actual format for which I was creating programs and helping these people was not nearly as regimented and I think as effective as it could be. So that's totally changed now, but at the time it felt like an overwhelming task, and like I really needed an expert to come in and help me figure out again the sales component of things, the marketing component of things, and also just what programs I was offering.
Great.
So obviously there are a lot of business coaches out there, and as a small business owner, it can be really difficult to know who to hire, once you've decided that you absolutely need to hire a business coach. So I ended up going with Lesli for a number of reasons. The fact that her background is in nutrition first and foremost, and she knows what it's like to work as a nutritionist, was such a huge point for me of wanting to work with her, because there are so many nuances of being a nutritionist that are pretty difficult to explain to somebody who isn't in this industry. But then also, Lesli provides so much additional information and so much extra support, especially those Facebook Lives every week are so helpful. And having she has such a robust knowledge base to be able to help people in a lot of different ways. And so I felt confident hiring her because I thought that whatever issues I ran into, I guessed that she had probably already experienced those and figured out a way to work through it. So there have been so many takeaways from my time working with Lesli. I think some of the most important pieces that I've come away from our work with is I sort of have like a mind map now of, okay, this piece needs to be in place in order to allow this piece to work. So like an example of that is just building out an opt-in for my website was such a huge project. And one of my fears was that I was going to spend all this time creating something and then it wasn't actually going to get the job done that I had wanted it to. And so, my opt-in, now that it's complete, it's so robust and I can see the direct relationship between converting my social media following and other people who are interested in my work. They'll be able to get in with the opt-in, and then there's already a newsletter and marketing campaign that is waiting for them to educate them. And the more educated my potential clients become, the more likely they are to want to work with me over time. So just building out each level of that marketing campaign was huge. But then also it was cool working with Lesli on the actual sales call process, which is an area that I really struggled with a lot. And she was able to pull out some nuances that were really specific to my business to help me to start seeing a much higher rate of conversion on these sales calls. And that was incredibly helpful. So now there's kind of an automation almost that my potential clients go through once they're ready to sign on to my programming. It's already been thought and planned out so that I'm not exerting all this extra energy, sort of recreating the wheel every time. So there's a very kind of clear step-by-step process that each client goes through from the moment that I meet them on social media or wherever else to the last appointment that I have with them when they're feeling so much better. So yeah. Since I started working with Lesli, I am on track now to double my income over the course of a year. I'm signing on clients at a much higher price range than I ever could have imagined before. And that opens up an entirely new world of possibility for me, because now I'm able to provide so much more value for my clients and really seeing their lives changed, mostly because I have the financial and time freedom to be able to create programs that are life-changing. So the programs that I have started this year, they've all sold out. And then I also have people who are working with me specifically one-on-one. And again, the price point for those is so much higher than I could have ever imagined. So if I were to talk to a colleague of mine about, next steps for them in their business, if they're considering hiring a business coach, I would really encourage them to work with Lesli, because first and foremost, she was a nutritionist and she really understands what goes into working in this field. But I think even more importantly than that, I would always encourage somebody who has a new business or an old business to hire a business coach who specializes in their field, because as small business owners, we oftentimes tend to spin our wheels a lot and spend our time on things that are really not that important. And, the deal is that you want your time to go towards things that create real results for you. And hiring Lesli as your business coach really helps you to hone into your industry and make the best use of your business so that you can start having the business and the life that you really want. So one of the other most important pieces that I have so appreciated working with Lesli that she offers is all of this additional support material. So there are online courses that you have access to, literally hundreds of templates. Like, it'll take me a very long time to get through all the support material that she provides. So, when you're thinking about the investment, it's not just the time that you have with her one-on-one. There's like a world of support that you are also investing in that will carry you for years and answer questions for you for years with your business. And it's such added value and makes much better use of the time that you have when you get to work with her one-on-one.